What if the person you will become tomorrow isn't a matter of chance, but a deliberate construction being assembled today, piece by piece, by your most ingrained beliefs? Forget wishful thinking. We are about to plunge into the intricate neuroscience of how your perception of yourself is literally sculpting your future. This isn't about hope. It's about the deliberate engineering of your own emergent identity. Feeling trapped in a life that doesn't resonate with the real you? The stark truth is that your subconscious beliefs are very likely the unacknowledged architects of your present circumstances. In this video, we will expose the hidden mechanisms of identity formation and provide you with the tools to intentionally redesign your future self by dismantling and reconstructing your core belief systems. It is time to step into the role of the master architect of your own becoming. Is the you of the future already being forged by the you of today? We are about to delve into the profound, often invisible, power of your beliefs, not as mere abstract thoughts, but as the fundamental, structural elements of your future identity. Prepare to grasp the scientific connection between your internal stories and your external reality, and learn how to proactively construct the self you are meant to be. The concept of a fixed self is one of the most pervasive illusions we live by. The individual you identify as right now, your personality, your habits, your limitations, is not a static entity carved in stone. It's a dynamic, ever-shifting construct, continuously shaped and reinforced by a hidden architecture of assumptions you've accumulated throughout your life. Many of these assumptions operate so far below the level of conscious thought that we mistake them for immutable truths about who we are. The truly shocking reality is how your brain processes these deep-seated beliefs. Neurologically, your brain does not distinguish between a strongly held belief and an objective, undeniable fact. If you fundamentally believe you are not a creative person, or that you are unlucky in love, your brain treats this not as an opinion, but as a core piece of data about the world, filtering your perceptions and guiding your actions to align with this truth. This internal blueprint, often built from outdated experiences and external feedback, becomes the invisible set of rules governing your life. This process of self-reinforcement isn't passive. It's an active, ongoing neurological project. A key player in this is the default mode network, DMN, a collection of brain regions that becomes active when we are not focused on a specific external task. This is the network that governs mind-wandering, introspection, and recalling memories. Crucially, the DMN is where your self-narrative lives and breathes. It constantly rehearses your story, who you are, what has happened to you, and what you expect to happen next. When your DMN is running on a script of limitation, I'm not good enough, I always fail at this, people like me don't succeed, it actively strengthens the neural pathways associated with that identity. This creates a powerful feedback loop. The DMN reinforces the self-narrative, which then primes your brain to interpret new experiences through that same limiting lens, making any genuine change feel not just difficult, but fundamentally impossible, like arguing with your own biology. You're not just thinking these thoughts, your brain is physically maintaining the identity they represent. To truly grasp how beliefs sculpt our reality, we must move beyond pop psychology and look at the brain's core operating system. A leading theory in cognitive neuroscience is predictive processing. This model posits that your brain isn't a passive receiver of sensory information from the outside world. Instead, it's a proactive prediction machine. Based on your stored beliefs and past experiences, your internal model of the world, your brain constantly generates predictions about what it expects to see, hear, and feel next. What you perceive as reality is actually the brain's best guess, a controlled hallucination that is constantly being updated by sensory input. When your beliefs are strong, they weigh these predictions heavily. Your brain actively seeks out and prioritizes information that confirms its existing model, a phenomenon known as confirmation bias, but on a deeply neurological level. This is why, when you believe the world is hostile, you will notice hostility everywhere, and when you believe opportunities are scarce, your brain will literally filter out evidence to the contrary. This predictive mechanism is what gives the self-fulfilling prophecy its scientific teeth. It's not magic, it's neurochemistry. When your predictions about the world and yourself come true, When reality matches your internal model, your brain rewards itself with a release of dopamine. This is the same neurotransmitter associated with pleasure, reward, and motivation. If you believe you are socially awkward and you then have an awkward social interaction, your brain registers a correct prediction and delivers a subtle dopamine hit. It feels paradoxically right because your model of the world was confirmed. This creates a powerful incentive to maintain your current beliefs, even if they are negative and self-sabotaging. Your brain becomes addicted to being right, and being right means ensuring your reality continues to conform to your pre-existing identity. This is the neurological trap that keeps people stuck. However, this same system holds the key to our liberation. The latest research into neuroplasticity demonstrates, unequivocally, that the brain is not fixed. Through focused attention and novel experiences, we can literally rewire these predictive models. Belief isn't just a psychological state, it's a physiological command that directs the ongoing construction of your neural pathways. This brings us to a critical distinction that separates rigorous self-development from superficial motivational fluff. This is not about standing in front of a mirror and chanting affirmations you don't believe. Such an approach often fails because it creates a conflict with your brain's deeply ingrained predictive model. If you tell yourself, "I am wealthy," while your core belief system screams, "I am broke and undeserving," your brain registers a prediction error, causing cognitive dissonance and stress, which can actually reinforce the negative belief. Instead of affirmations, we must engage in strategic belief engineering. This is an analytical, evidence-based process of treating your mind like a system that can be debugged and upgraded. It begins with the methodical deconstruction of your limiting beliefs. You must become a detective of your own psyche, identifying the core, foundational assumptions that are holding your future self hostage. Ask yourself, what must I believe is true about myself or the world to be experiencing my current reality? Trace your frustrations and limitations back to their source code, the unquestioned beliefs that dictate your behavior. Once these limiting beliefs are brought into conscious awareness, you can begin the work of building new neurological frameworks. A powerful technique for this is the use of as-if scenarios, a form of structured mental rehearsal. This leverages the brain's inability to distinguish vividly imagined experiences from real ones. By repeatedly and intensely imagining yourself acting, thinking, and feeling as if you already embody a new, desired belief, you begin to generate the neural data required to build a new predictive model. For instance, instead of affirming, "I am confident," you would mentally rehearse a specific, upcoming situation, a presentation, a social gathering, and visualize yourself moving, speaking, and reacting with the physiology and mindset of a confident person. This isn't just daydreaming. It's a targeted simulation designed to create neurological evidence for a new reality. You are essentially pre-paving the neural pathways for a new self, giving your brain a blueprint to follow when the real situation arises. You are feeding it new data, bit by bit, until the as-if identity begins to feel more real than the old one. The ultimate goal of this process is the deliberate and conscious creation of your future identity. This starts with defining desired future states with absolute clarity. Who is the person you intend to become? What capabilities, mindsets, and emotional states do they possess? This vision must be specific and compelling, serving as the North Star for your belief engineering work. Once you have this clear picture, you can begin the process of backward engineering your identity. You start with your ideal self and work backward to identify the specific, foundational beliefs that person must hold to exist. If your ideal self is a successful entrepreneur, what must they believe about risk, failure, value, and their own capabilities? If your ideal self is someone with deep, meaningful relationships, what must they believe about vulnerability, trust, and their own worthiness of love? These identified beliefs become your new architectural specifications. With these new beliefs defined, you enter the practical phase of testing and integration. The goal is to make these new beliefs feel intrinsically, undeniably true. This involves actively seeking out or creating experiences that serve as evidence for your new belief system. This is an iterative process of hypothesis and experiment. If your new belief is, "I am a disciplined person," your experiment is to follow a structured routine for 1 week. The successful completion of that week is not just a win for your productivity, it is a critical data point you feed back into your predictive model. You consciously acknowledge the evidence. My actions demonstrated discipline, therefore my belief is becoming true. Each small, congruent action serves as a brick in the foundation of your new identity. You are systematically starving the old neural pathways of confirmation and actively nourishing the new ones with real-world proof. Through this cycle of belief, action, and evidence, what starts as an as-if simulation gradually solidifies into a new, authentic, and embodied self. It is crucial to understand that this work is never truly finished. Identity is not a final destination you arrive at. It is a continuous, dynamic process of refinement and evolution. The person you are today is a stepping stone to the person you will be in 5 years, and that person will be the foundation for who you become in a decade. Being the architect of yourself means embracing this iterative nature. It requires committing to regular belief audits, where you consciously examine your internal architecture. Are your beliefs still serving your highest goals? Have new experiences provided data that requires an update to your model? Just as a skilled architect inspects a building for structural integrity and adapts plans based on new materials or environmental conditions, you must consistently evaluate and adapt your internal framework. Ultimately, this entire process is about reclaiming your personal agency. It is the radical recognition that you are not a passive passenger in the journey of your life, merely experiencing an identity that was given to you. You are the architect. Your beliefs are the raw materials, your focus is the tool, and your life is the grand structure you are building. The sense of being stuck is the feeling of living in a structure designed by a past version of yourself, or worse, by the unexamined beliefs of others. The power to design your future identity is the most profound form of freedom you can possess. By understanding the neuroscience of belief and committing to the rigorous work of self-design, you can move from being a product of your past to being the deliberate creator of your future. You are the architect of your own becoming. And that's a wrap for today's video. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. I really hope you enjoyed it and maybe even learned something new. If you did, do me a huge favor and hit that subscribe button down below. It seriously helps the channel out more than you know and ensures you won't miss any of our future content. I'll see you in the next one. Bye!